What's up, people? Out here with the dog down over there with a blend of tobacco, wild lettuce, and kryptonite. This morning in my Discord server, I asked what fantasy weapon would you choose, well, real or fantasy weapon would you choose for the zombie apocalypse? And then I quickly changed it to not just one, but what 3 weapons would you choose? Because you need a good variety, but I didn't want to choose just one. And I've thought a lot about the zombie apocalypse. Being a survivalist and martial artist, and just lover of the genre, but I haven't thought of it from the perspective of being able to use fantasy weapons at all. So I'm the type of guy who would absolutely have and use a katana. Or at least some sort of like staff or spear. But with the opening up of the fantasy realm, I pretty quickly chose to use a lightsaber. Not just any lightsaber though. I couldn't remember his name earlier whenever I was putting this in the server, so I just called him that red and blackface guy, but Darth Maul. I would have a dual lightsaber like that. However, like, first, I would have a longer handle so that I can actually twirl it and do bow staff kind of stuff properly, but also where I can wield it like a longsword. A longer handle. I can't use both my hands, one's holding the camera, but a longer handle to get the leverage and all that. And I would also add hand stops because I like being able to use my hands. It's important in the zombie apocalypse and or life. And next I chose a honey badger. Not the animal, although that would be pretty cool to have a familiar, so to speak, honey badger. But inevitably at some point they're going to get bit. I'm not so worried about the badger dying, but it becoming a zom honey badger, or honey zom badger, which is just, thought of that as terrifying. So the rifle. Because it's in 300 blackout, which is a subsonic round. It's also an integrally suppressed rifle. So you got your bang and the quietness. 300 blackout has a good bit of stopping power. It also has good range to it. Obviously not the kind of range that you would be getting out of 7.62, the big one, not the AK round, which is same as 308, 7.62 by 51, unless I'm being dyslexic on that end number. Whereas AK is 7.62 by 39, so same diameter, but it's a shorter bullet. It's just carrying less energy as well because the casings for the 7.62 by 51 are a lot larger. I would trick it out as well. I would probably rock an ACOG because I mean I like sniping, but whenever I'm in more close quarters, it's going to be a hindrance if you have a scope on there. So rock the ACOG. ACOG's also going to help you with quick acquisition with distance and stuff. I'm not gonna go for that bitch ass like new scope that the Army's doing that does all these calculations and crap for you. But ACOG would be nice. It is a little bit the same, but it's not the same. It's just that new junk. I don't like it. Man, I'm sure it's cool, but it's like, I feel like it's cheating on the battlefield, really. It's like, because you're taking all these people who, like, don't really know how to shoot, and you're turning them all into snipers. It's just, yeah. Which, there's a lot more to being a sniper than just being able to hit targets at range, but still, I think you get my point. So an ACOG, which is like a 4X optic, it helped me look and get decent range. Put backup irons at a 45 degree on the side rail. And I don't know how the setup is on that ACOG. So I'm not actually, yeah. If you could see, I think, unless you got really tall irons, you wouldn't be able to see them with an ACOG, because some optics have the room underneath, but it would also mess up your sight picture and take up a lot of the optic window if I had them where they usually are, even if I could see them. So I run it on the side at the 45, because then it's just like a quick, flip over. To use, I would run a visible laser, of course, with pressure pad switches so I can turn it off quickly. And I would run a light on it as well, which, same pressure pad stuff. And so it's not just having it as a white light, use where it can go to a red light as well to help preserve my natural night vision, and also not to be seen from a distance, like the big white light giving me off. I don't want that, because you're not just dealing with zombies in the zombie apocalypse. You're dealing with people who are going to be stealing from and killing other people. So you got to deal with that, and you just don't want to draw attention to yourself. And it's like, depending on what your theory is on the zombies, like how the virus works, or fungus, or it's like demonic necromancy, whatever. I mean, it's not like totally presumed. Like, you don't know whether or not lights are going to attract them. Like, you don't know what their level of intelligence is, or if they're attracted to lights just like a moth in a flame. So there's that. So maybe they're insectoids and are drawn to light, or the fungus that is in them for some reason, because those cordyceps and other fungi that take over insects, maybe it has some trace of being attracted to light because of that, because it was in a bug before it switched to humans. Who knows? Fun to think about. And on top of the laser and the white light, I don't know if I mentioned having strobe function on the light or not. I also would like to use a UV light because I need something like a bit brighter but still isn't as bright as a white light. It's gonna give me away. You can use that at night and like you see more versus a red light. And it also would help me track because if I'm tracking a zombie or wounded animal or whatever, that UV light is going to make blood stand out. And other things, if I'm looking for, you know, whatever, maybe I'm foraging for a plant and it has flowers that glow a specific color under UV, that's going to be really useful. There's a lot of other implications for that as well, but I won't go off into a spiel about chemistry or whatever dealing with that. But there's other applications. Let's see. So other modifications for the honey badger. I was thinking about drum mags, but they're bulky. They're also heavy. I mean, of course, ammo's ammo. It's going to be heavy, but still, that makes your rifle a lot heavier. And like, it's nothing when you're at the range, but you're running around and stuff. Like, ounces matter. You're going to tire out your arms really quick, which I would have a good 3-point sling. Ooh, a spider. Check this out. I don't know what kind that is. Can you see it? I think so. Where's he at? There he is. There's a spider. I don't know what kind of spider that is. Let's see. It's not a jumping spider. Come on, guy. I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to get this thing to focus, but anyways. If you have any clue what type of spider that is, let me know in the comments. Anyways, I love entomology. That's not really good focus. Alright, buddy, onto the pine tree. Come on. This is not easy. Scared him. Oh, now he's webbing. There you go, man. Cool. Alright. Oh, mags, that's what we were talking about. So, yeah, oh, sling. I was talking about the sling, because 3-point sling you can put around your back and everything like a regular sling, but you can also have it where it's like hanging down from you. It's like part of it's secured and then like the front's like hanging down. So that's good, because you can go from using it, then you can kind of like let it drop and use your lightsaber, or whatever you got to do with your hands. So we do that with quick detach, like zombie or someone grabs onto her, gets snagged on something, and I'm gotta move, I gotta run, I can, you know, quick detach, drop it. Not ideal, but can possibly come back for it later or scrounge up another firearm. So the mags I would run though, because the other thing about the, I'm getting tangled up, no. The other thing about the drum mags I thought of, because they're so bulky, they're on your kit or whatever, you're having to squeeze through something or crawl, it could be a real hindrance. Let me help the dog out. Get my shoes. But the kind of mags I would use dual mags, like taped to where for quick reloads I can. And I don't know that I'm going to find something that's not a drum mag, but greater than 20-30 rounds, whatever the typical case is for a 300 blackout round or mag. But if I can get like 40 round mags or maybe some like 50s, that'd be a long mag, but the length I'm not really so worried about. There you go, dog. Happy exploring till you get tangled up again like 2 minutes from now. So yeah, quick reloads, that's important. And if possible, I would also rock a 40mm grenade launcher under the barrel, because, you know, when stuff really gets wild, I gotta take out a vehicle, or obviously the first thing is there's a large group of zombies that needs to be done away with. That would come in handy, real handy. And you could have different type of rounds for the 40 Mike, and you could have like incendiary stuff to catch things on fire. There's different levels of effectiveness and all that. I think that's kind of it for the rifle. Could like nerd out about some more like details, but that's the essence. That's how it would be set up. Oh, one more thing though. I told you I could nerd out further. Well, if it's a true honey badger, it's already good to have selective fire and full auto. But if not, otherwise, then you get a binary trigger that fires on the pull and release. And there is a safety mechanism on those that if you're trying not to fire whenever you release, then you can make it not do that. Or forced reset, like there's a spring that pushes your finger forward so you can pull it pretty quick. So yeah, that's the rifle. I would have it camoed, something that makes sense. And if I had a like shroud for the ACOG to where that it's not giving a signal in the sun reflecting off of it, that would be good. Then for my third weapon, I wasn't really sure, because I was like, should I go for another melee weapon? I mean, I love axes, and having a tomahawk maybe that I could throw would be cool. Maybe a wakizashi, some like, you know, shorter blade if they get real close on me. Maybe a mace, I don't know. Or having a like, maybe a like some kind of personal defense weapon, like not a Uzi, but I forget what they're called. There's something that's like similar, which has a stock that you can shoulder, and it fires in 5.7, which will penetrate body armor. Oh, penetrate soft armor. I'm not so sure that. Maybe if you had some special rounds, you could probably punch through plate, but it depends. But something like that would maybe be good. Full auto 45 maybe. But it's like, well, we're going fantasy here, and also like weight saving, things like that. I would use a ring, a very special ring, because I would use a Green Lantern ring. I used to think that Green Lantern wasn't really all that cool and kind of lame, to be honest. The dog's digging, but you know what? I don't care, because it's not in the yard. So let him. I'll get a little dirty, but whatever. Dogs are dirty anyways. Let them get some digging in. Let them be happy there. Why not? Poor guy doesn't get outside much. So, yeah, so the Green Lantern ring, like, whenever I learned, because I never knew this, I've never been big into comics or superheroes and stuff. You know, I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. I like Narnia too. I really was into Harry Potter or Star Wars. I love the concept of Star Wars, but it just wasn't executed well. I'm a tough critic whenever it comes to like acting and like, movies that like to be logical. Yeah, I hate Avengers movies. They don't follow physics at all, and that's what bothers me. It's like I can understand, okay, if there's like magic in the setting or different stuff like that, superpowers, okay, that's fine. But there's still the normal laws of physics and all that. It just gets to me. Plus they're like the same plot over and over, just this money-making scheme without real substance and depth to it. But anyhow, whenever I learned that the Green Lantern ring, how it actually worked and was used, that it's anything that you can imagine, and I essentially have the energetic bandwidth, like spiritual essence, you're not overwhelmed or fatigued to be able to sustain whatever it is. I was like, whew, let's go, because I've got an imagination. And like, I can multitask super well. So I'm like, yeah, I could max this thing out, baby. Then like, if I got like a horde running on me, and I gotta throw up like a wall as a shield, I can do that. I can make the wall be, what do they call them? The, like, slimes, from Dungeons and Dragons, like where like they're running into this thing that stops them and then it's acid eating them away. I can create that, and create shields and stuff like that can't be gotten through to protect people that are over here while I'm over here using my honey badger. And because I'd just be running that laser, I wouldn't even really have to aim. That's the nice thing about the having the visible laser, is that I can just and if I gotta be looking over here and using my my ring or whatever, you should always look where you're shooting at. But in the right scenario where it's safe, but not safe for the zombies, you know, and I'm fire with one hand and while I'm scanning the environment or whatever. But it's more so, you get what I'm saying. Anyways, be safe in the zombie apocalypse. Is that a contradiction? I don't know. But yeah, I can do all that. I was thinking earlier about I could have myself riding on a flying carpet over top, and I'm just like sniping from up there. I can, like, one of the things is that you always see in the zombie apocalypse how all these vehicles don't work because gas only works for so long till it messes up, or you know, like if there was an EMP or something, whatever. Like I could make an awesome car. I could be driving around the Batmobile essentially. And I like to think of it as, because otherwise it's like majorly OP. So I was thinking about how in My Hero Academia, that the one girl who can make things out of the lipids in her body, she has to understand like how the things function and work. She has to have an understanding of like the physics, and I think they might have used like molecular structure or something. But I like to think of it as like, if you're gonna create something, you have to understand how it works, at least on a basic level, because like you could make, like she made cannons once, and if she didn't know how a cannon works and fires, then she would make it wrong, right? Because it's not a genie in a bottle. It's you yourself are imagining and creating this thing. So I like to think of it that way, and I have a lot of different knowledge bases and understanding of how, like an intricate understanding of how a lot of different things work. So that would be nice. I may not be able to make a functioning Batmobile now that I'm saying that, but I can make a car, and I'll probably make a helicopter. So like that kind of stuff. I could certainly make the flying carpet. What you wondering about? He's tired of exploring this area. So yeah, the Green Lantern ring would be awesome. I could, well, it's a superpower that can give you more superpowers. I mean, I could make energetic spears to throw, because there's more stuff, more powerful things I could do, but you know, you're just having fun. Those are the things I like to do. I could have myself in a floating ball of protection that could come and like run into the zombies, and it can electrify them on the outside, but not me. I mean, there's so many, like there's literally infinite possibilities. Whatever you want to create, you can create. So I think that would be a super awesome trio for the zombie apocalypse. Let me know what you think about it, and let me know what 3 weapons, real or fantasy, you would use if you were a hero in the zombie apocalypse. Alright guys, as my friend Josh from college would say, stay frosty. God bless.